Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Nitya
Krishna,
Prabhu
Krishna
Nityananda
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna
Advaita
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Gadadhara
Ram.
Hare
Srivasa
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Ram.
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare.
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Hare Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
हरे कृष्णा
Ram,
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Ram,
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
हरे
Hare,
कृष्णा कृष्ण
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
हरे
Hare,
कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
हरे राम हरे राम
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
हरे
Ram Ram,
कृष्णा
Hare Hare, Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे राम
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
हरे
Ram, Hare
कृष्णा
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare
हरे
Ram,
कृष्णा
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
हरे
Hare.
कृष्णा
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्णा
Hare
हरे
Hare,
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram.
कृष्ण हरे हरे राम
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna,
Krishna
कृष्णा
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare,
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare,
Hare
Hare
हरे
Ram,
हरे
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
हरे
Krishna, Hare
कृष्णा
Hare.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
हरे राम
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna,
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
I am out of my mind and in my heart, fully present to the holy names when I chant. To say you are out of your mind is another way of saying you are crazy. We use this humor to explain that if we are in our mind when we chant, it means we are not present to the holy names. Whereas if we are in our heart, we are present to the experience of the holy name. For example, some feel Krishna's presence in the vibration of his names within their body. Others feel his presence in the vibration of the holy names when they feel around them. They feel around them. Others feel his presence in the vibration of the holy names. They feel around them. Whatever the case, Prabhupada stated that we can feel Krishna when we chant. This affirmation helps us understand more deeply Prabhupada's statements. Where is the question of mind? Which was his response to the statement, it is very difficult to control my mind when I chant. He elaborated, you just chant with your tongue and hear with your ear. Morning Walk, February 1975, Honolulu, Hawaii. In other words, the mind is not required for hearing and experiencing the holy name. In fact, it is the mind that takes us away from experiencing the holy name when it focuses on the past or future. When I say I'm out of my mind and my heart, it also means that I'm expressing my spiritual desires to Krishna while chanting, rather than thinking of things not related to chanting. Prabhupada once said that when we chant, Krishna comes to us and says, yes, what do you want? So while chanting, we express our desire. I want purity. I want to overcome my anarthas. I want to be empowered. I want to be free from anything that is destructive to my relationship. In this way, we pray from our heart through the Mahamantra. Okay, so we'll continue this. Okay, so chanting is heart deep, not lip deep. Means we have to put our consciousness, like we have to really call out to the holy name with feeling, as he says that with our feeling, with desires. What do we want? We want Krishna's service. Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare.
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram.
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare Ram.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Krishna Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Krishna Hare, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna. Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna.
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Nityananda
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Advaita
Krishna
Gadadhar
Krishna,
Srivasadi Gaura.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hari
Hare
Hari Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna Hare Hare
जय
Hare
श्री
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
जय
Ram
श्री
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
हरे
Hare
Hare Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna
हरे राम 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 हरे
Hare Ram Hare Ram
हरे
Ram Ram
कृष्णा
Hare
Hare
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram.
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram.
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Ram 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 Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna
राम
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम राम
Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare.
Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna
हरे
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
राम
Krishna,
Krishna
राम
Hare
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Ram
Hare
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Ram.
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
हरे
Hare
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Ram
Krishna
कृष्ण
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare Ram
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
हरे
Hare Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
हरे
Krishna
Hare
राम
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
Krishna
राम
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Ram Hare
कृष्ण
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Hare
हरे
Hare.
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
हरे
Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram.
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
हरे
Hare
Krishna
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Krishna
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे राम राम
Hare
राम
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
हरे
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram.
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram.
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
हरे
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare Ram Ram
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
हरे
Ram Hare
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Hare Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
हरे
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Ram Hare
कृष्ण
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram.
Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare Ram.
हरे
Ram Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna Hare
Hare
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
राम
Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
Hare
राम
Krishna
राम राम
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram.
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Jai Shri Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Chaitanya
Ram,
Prabhu
Ram Ram, Hare
Nityananda
Hare,
Shri
Hare Krishna,
Advaita
Hare
Gadadhara
Krishna, Krishna
Srivasi
Krishna,
Gauri Bhakta.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
While chanting, we are not thinking of our prayers as much as we are feeling our prayers. If we are thinking more than feeling, then we are still in our mind. Where is the question of the mind? For example, if we meet someone we sense isn't trustworthy, it comes more as a feeling that we can't trust them than a thought. In fact, the thought comes after the feeling. Similarly, when we are praying while chanting, we are feeling, Krishna, please help me, please bring me closer to you, please make me pure. Not thinking these things. Prayer is not a thought process. The more we feel, the more we get out of our mind and into our heart. Praying to and through the holy name is a powerful way to control our mind and absorb ourselves in the holy name. Some devotees wonder, if I try to enter into feeling, then won't it take my focus off hearing the name? The two are not separate processes. Hearing and praying are one, and when we experience this oneness, we realize that by praying we become more absorbed in hearing. It's a holistic experience. What we chant with our lips is one thing, but what we feel is what we really communicate. Is what really communicates. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, we don't chant with our lips, we chant with our heart. Feeling is the essence of prayer, and feeling brings us into the present. So feeling can absorb us completely in chanting. The idea of this affirmation is that we are not just chanting with our tongue, but we are chanting with our heart. And remember, when we are out of our mind, we are in our heart. Okay, so it is not, it is, chanting with heart means feeling, that's Raganuga Bhakti. And we can induce some feelings of separation from Krishna. Krishna, I've been so long, I've been separated from you, like that, please help me. But at the same time, we have to also hear the holy names, in the sense that every word we should pronounce properly and hear. So both. So he's saying that feeling will automatically result in hearing and chanting nicely.
We should feel grateful for giving us an opportunity to chant every day. The Lord. Yeah. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
जय श्री कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
प्रिय
Ram
द्वैत
Hare
गदाधर
Hare
शिवासुर
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
जय श्री
Krishna
कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री
Krishna
अद्वैत
Krishna Hare
गदाधर
Hare Hare
श्रीवास
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
हरे हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna
हरे कृष्ण हरे
Krishna
हरे राम
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
हरे हरे हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hari Hari Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna
Krishna Hari Hari Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hari Hari Ram Hari
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hare
Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Hari
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Ram Hari Ram Ram Hari Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Ram Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Ram Ram
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hari Ram Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare
Jai
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Krishna
Prabhu
Hare Hare Hare
Nityananda,
Ram
Priya
Hare Ram
Dvaita
Hare
Radha
Ram
Shri
Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna.
Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna. Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Jai
Hare
Shri Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Jai
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Shri
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Ram
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ekam
Krishna Krishna
Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu
Hare Hare
Nityananda
Hare
Shri Advaita
Hare Ram
Gadadhar
Ram
Shivasari
Hare
Gaur
Hare
Bhaktavrinda
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
We are going through Srimad
Hare
Bhagavatam. So
Krishna.
this is
Hare Krishna.
prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvipa.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare
Let me
Krishna. Hare
offer my
Krishna.
respectful
Krishna.
obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishikesh, the controller of all my senses, and the origin of everything. So Krishna is the controller of our senses. Well, if we are surrendered to him, then he will control our senses. Otherwise, yeah, the senses are going haywire, and we cannot hold Rishikesh responsible because he didn't control my senses. So what can I do? No. So Rishikesh senses are controlled when they are engaged in the service of the master of the senses. What is that verse?
सर्वोपाधि विनिर्मुक्तं तत्परत्वेन निर्मलं ऋषिकेन ऋषिकेशस्य सेवनं भक्तिरुच्यते.
So when our mind and senses are engaged in Krishna's service, then only they are controlled. Otherwise, they are not controlled. Then he will control our senses also, and the origin of everything. So our mind doesn't get controlled unless we engage it in service of Krishna. And that's the uncontrolled mind is the root cause of all the problems. The uncontrolled mind is the root cause of transmigration in this material existence, and it makes us do things which are not favorable for Krishna consciousness. It's the uncontrolled mind. So to control the mind, you have to bring Krishna in the mind or engage the mind in Krishna's service. As the supreme master of all bodily, mental, and intellectual activities, he is the only enjoyer of the results. Because he is the master of the body. Krishna gave us this body, Krishna gave us these senses. Body has senses, it's included. The mind also is Krishna's energy. Kham mano buddhi revacha. So everything belongs to Krishna. My body also belongs to Krishna. My senses belong to Krishna. So we have to think like that. That it is Krishna's property. He has given it to, and the soul also belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. And so I should use everything, my karmendriyas, my jnanendriyas, in the service of Krishna. That's basically Krishna consciousness. The 5 sense objects and 11 senses, including the mind, are his partial manifestations. 5 sense objects for all the 5 senses, and the 11 senses, which means karmendriya, jnanendriya, and the mind, are his partial manifestation. He supplies all the necessities of life, which are his energy, and thus non-different from him.
So everything, the food we are getting, the air we are breathing, everything is coming by Krishna's arrangement and is the cause of everyone's bodily and mental prowess. So our power also comes from Krishna, our mental determination and our faculty of intelligence, discrimination, everything, the mental prowess means discrimination, determination. Yeah, all these things, they come from Krishna, which is also non-different from him, based on our desire. Indeed, he is the husband and provider of necessities for all living entities. He is the husband of all living entities. The purpose of all the Vedas is to worship him. Vedesya sarve rahamev vedyo. Therefore, let us all offer him our respectful obeisances. May he be always favorable towards us in this life and the next. So without Krishna, nothing is there also. The soul is existing. It's Krishna's energy. Our existence is dependent on Krishna.
I'm not quite sure how to help
So, yeah, we are completely dependent on Krishna. In this verse, the word Maya Maya is further explained in regard to how the Lord expands his mercy in different ways. Parasha Shaktir Vivadhaiva Shruyate. The energies of the Lord are understood in different ways. In this verse is described as the original source of everything. Even our body, senses, mind, activities, prowess, bodily strength, mental strength, and determination for securing the necessities of life. Indeed, the Lord's energies can be perceived in everything. And He's the one who gives the results of our activity. We may work very hard with determination, but things may not work, right? So He also gives the results of our activities. I may work very hard to get a job, right? But I may not get. Of course, that hard work, the capacity to work hard is also coming from Krishna. So, in this way, we will never become proud if we think that, yeah, it's Krishna who's giving me everything. Indeed, the Lord's energies can be perceived in everything, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:8. Only thing Krishna does not give us is our material desires. For that, we should blame ourselves. We should not blame Krishna for that. Because only desire is, Krishna is, of course, the soul has credit because the soul has free will. And the free will is properly used in service of Krishna. So that's why we praise the devotees, because they have surrendered to Krishna by their own free will. So that much credit, yes, that's the biggest credit of the soul, is to use his free will and surrender to Krishna. So that's why we praise if everything is coming from Krishna, why do we praise anybody? Right? No, the only thing that we praise Srila Prabhupada, we praise all the devotees, is because Krishna has given them the free will and they have used it properly in Krishna's service to surrender to him, to serve him. So, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:8, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. The taste of water is also Krishna. So every time, do we remember Krishna when we drink water? That's the question, right? We have heard this, but when we actually drink water, do we think, oh, this taste of water is Krishna? How many of us do that? Every time we drink water, do we remember, oh, this taste, this quenching of thirst is happening because of Krishna? We don't remember like that. When we go out in the sunlight or at night moonlight, we say, oh, this moonlight is Krishna. This sunlight is Krishna. We don't think like that. We may think sometimes, maybe, but not all the time. But So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see everything and it would remind him of Krishna. Because we are not at that level of love where we can see everything as Krishna. So everything is Krishna's energy and it reminds us of Krishna. So that is very, very high. स्थावर देखी जंगम देखे न देखे तारा मूर्ति. Then सर्व.
सर्वत्र इष्टदेव स्फुरति.
Yeah, so that's I think Mahabhav, like that, something very, but we have to practice. Oh, this is Krishna. Whenever we are doing something, we are moving our hand, we should remember Krishna. Oh, my hand is moving because of Krishna. Of course, then somebody may say that, how can we even live our life if we think like that? No, we can live. Krishna says, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. You remember me and fight. The fighting ability is also coming from Krishna. So, like that. Okay, so I am able to speak. That is because of Krishna. Able to hear. That's because of Krishna. Okay, so then we will not become proud. This verse offering respectful obeisances unto the Lord was composed by Rama. Krishna is the active principle of everything we need for our maintenance. And then he further says, I am the fire of digestion. I am everything. Actually, everything, not fire, everything is Krishna. Everything that is, we are able to live, Krishna is providing us everything. This verse offering respectful obeisances unto the Lord was composed by Rama, the goddess of fortune. So Lakshmi Devi is saying this prayer and is full of spiritual power. Under the guidance of a spiritual master, everyone should chant this mantra. So we chant the mantra, it's a big mantra. Om Ram Rim Rum Om Namo Bhagavate Rishikeshaya Sarva Guna Vishesher Vilakshitatmane Akutinam Chittinam Chetasam Visheshanam Chadipataye Shodasa Kalaya Chando Maya Yana Mayamrita Mayaya Sarvamaya Sahase Ojase Balaya Kantaya Kamaya Namaste Ubhayatra Bhuyat. At least one time we chanted. Everyone should chant this mantra and thus become a complete and perfect devotee of the Lord. Of course, it's not just mere recitation, right? Without understanding the meaning has not much value. Like when Prabhupada, he got married and his wife sang a song and Prabhupada asked, what is the meaning of this song? She says, I don't know. In Abhaycharan we see that. And Prabhupada was saying, you don't know? You sang the song, you don't know the meaning? So, so sometimes we do like that. We sing Gaur Aarti, we sing Narsinghadev, and hardly we ever meditate on the meaning. Of course, we may know the meaning outside, like if somebody asks us, we can tell the meaning. But when we are doing it, are we actually remembering the meaning? That's the thing. So, outside somebody says, yeah, this is the meaning. We know because we have memorized, we have heard it many times. But when we are doing it, then is the meaning coming to our mind? That's the thing. So that's why they say be here now, right? Be in the present. Don't think about, because mind is distracted. So while we are chanting some prayer, mind is thinking something else. It is not thinking about how Gauranga Mahaprabhu is being worshipped on the bank of Ganga, Basu Ghosh, Mukunda Ghosh, Sanjaya. They are all singing, and Brahma is doing the arati, and Lord Shiva is there, Shukdev Goswami is there, and they are all in ecstasy. Their throat is choked up because of ecstasy, and Shrivas is fanning like that. So that how we should remember. Right? This is how it is happening. Okay, and there are kartals and other things that are being used in the arti. They are making a very sweet sound. So, so we should visualize. And Lord Chaitanya has what is garland around his neck. He's sitting. His His body is as effulgent as millions of moons. Kiva bahu koti chandrajini. Bahu koti. Koti means millions of moons. Chandrajini. Vadana. Vadan means the face or the body. Ujjvala is shining and is sitting on this. Boshi yache Gaura Chand Ratna Sinhasa. Boshi yache means he's sitting on this Sinhasan, which is made of Ratna, jewels. Lala Deshe Banamala. And around his gala is this neck, is a Vanamala. Like Krishna also has a garland made of forest flowers. So like that, this whole, as we are singing, then we are supposed to visualize this Gaura Arti in our mind. We are thinking, oh, this is how Gaura, and he's attracting everybody in the universe. Gaurangera Ratika Shobha Jaga Janamana Lobha. So this is meditation. Same with Guru. Every prayer, our mind has to be there, and that's how we can actually meditate. Under the guidance of a spiritual master, everyone should chant this mantra and thus become a complete and perfect devotee of the Lord. One may chant this mantra for complete liberation from material bondage. And after liberation, one may continue to chant it while worshipping the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha Lok. So after liberation also, you can chant this mantra. All mantras, of course, are meant for this life and next life, as Krishna himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita 9:14. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridavratah namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. So with great determination, they are constantly glorifying me. Kirtayanto mam. Yatan, very endeavoring with great determination. Yatantas, yatiraj means sannyasis are called yatis because they are so putting all our effort, and initially you have to put your effort because love is not there. But when love is there, then you don't, it is automatically spontaneous. So they are glorifying Krishna with all they have taken a firm vow or with great determination. Namasyantas, they are bowing down to Krishna. So whenever we go to temple, bow down. While our body is able to bow down, we should bow down because one day our body will not bow down. Even then, we can offer obeisances in our mind. So, which Krishna also accepts, because if we have knee problem or something which cannot bow down, or you can just fold your hands and bow down. So it is not the physical activity that's important. It's in what mentality you do that activity. So I may be bowing down and I may be thinking about some other thing. Right? I'm bowing down physically, and I may be bowing, folding my hands, but I may be thinking of Krishna. So namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, the great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. A devotee who both in this life and the next chants the Maha Mantra or any mantra is called Nitya Yukta Upasak. So Nitya means, actually Nitya means constantly, Nitya. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur sometimes says Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya means regularly hearing Bhagavatam. But Nitya also means eternal, constantly. So this verse is saying Satatam. So many times people say 16 rounds is too much. Well, Krishna is saying Satatam, constantly. So always. So for us it is made 16 rounds at least.
So Prabhuji here is saying that a devotee who both in this life and the
Next.
next. So what is referring to the next? Like, does it referring to the next means
The
spiritual
spiritual
world?
world, in the spiritual world. Like here it is saying, or in the next life means you have not perfected, so you're still chanting the Maha Mantra. Right? We may have chanted in our previous life, but we still didn't chant purely. So again we are chanting now. Or you can
Okay.
chant in the spiritual world, whichever way you take it. So okay. Gajendra remembered mantra he chanted in his previous life. Right? So he must have chanted in his previous life. Then again he remembered. He got the body of an elephant because of the curse. But he remembered. So again, maybe we are chanting the mantra we chanted in our previous life. So maybe he didn't chant properly, right? What is that story in which that sage cursed that you will go to hell, and then he did devotional service and the curse did not work, right? Vashishta cursed that
Prashthar.
Vrishta. So we would wonder why Indradumna Swami, not Indradumna Swami, that yeah, King Indradumna, I think, whatever. No, not King. What was his name was Indradumna, right? Gajendra's name.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in devotional service, but then he got cursed. So why did the curse act? Like why did not it act? Why didn't he come back to God like this other person was also cursed and his curse did not act? So we don't know because maybe he was not chanting purely or something. And sometimes we say he got the body of Gajendra, so he's going back home, back to God, it was accelerated. He actually became completely surrendered to Krishna and he went back.
So one devotee said that he was doing meditation without a guru. He was not acting under the instructions of a guru.
Hmm.
So
So he was
Vashishta.
meditating on Krishna only, right? But he didn't have a guru. Is that what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some devotee. Because
But
I
then,
asked him like, what was his fault? Why did he get cursed?
we have this Akrishtikrita Chetasam Sumanasam Uchatanam Chamhasam Achandala Mukaloko Vashyashri Bhakti Shriya
Hmm.
No Diksham Na Chaparusharyam Managikshate. So, isn't the mantra very powerful that it doesn't wait for Diksha? He may not have been opposed to Diksha, but I don't know. So doesn't this thing say that it doesn't wait for any Purascharya Vidhi or anything like that? And he remembered the mantra he chanted. So we may say, well, Gajendra in the next life, what guru did he have? Who was his guru as an elephant?
Maybe somebody chanting in a very nice situation, like being a king, having versus somebody chanting in a very helpless way. There's a difference.
So you are saying Indradumna was not feeling that helplessness. Gajendra was feeling the
I'm not
helplessness.
sure, but I mean, Gajendra was in a very helpless condition. Everybody left him. He understood that nobody
But
can
in that
save
life
him.
also he didn't have a guru. We don't hear of Gajendra having a guru. We just remembered a mantra he chanted in his previous life. So if we say Indradumna didn't have a guru, then Gajendra also didn't have a guru. But anyhow, we don't have to think too
I
much
mean, the
about it.
curses of devotees, we say, the devotee is sent by Krishna only. Narad Muni cursing Nalkovera Manigriva. And so Vashishta being a pure devotee, or I don't know, was it Vashishta Agastya? Who was it?
So he was a pure devotee. And Vashishta was not a pure devotee who cursed this other person who's on whom the curse did not act. That way, Shringi was a pure devotee when he cursed Parikshit Maharaj. Shringi
He
considered a
was
pure
not.
devotee.
No, he
No,
was not.
But his curse still acted
no.
right
Mm-hmm.
on Parikshit Maharaj.
Yeah, if Krishna wanted, may not have acted. So I pasted a prayer that I read somewhere
Okay, one minute.
related to this verse that we were reading. Lakshmi ji is saying that we are all dependent on Krishna. He is the actual husband and he is providing all the necessities. So this prayer is saying, when you wake up, say Krishna, I love you. When leaving the house, say Krishna, come with me. When you feel like crying, say Krishna, hug me. When you feel happy, say Krishna, I adore you. When you do something, means you are attempting to do something, say Krishna, please help me. When you make a mistake, say Krishna, please forgive me. When you go to sleep, say thank you, Krishna, and cover me with your holy mantle. And shield me, protect me. So in every instance of your life, be connected to Krishna. Because ultimately he will guide you. He's your eternal companion, right? He will go with you everywhere, wherever you are. And there is no person who will come along with you. Even the next life, we say that king which had 4 wives, right? All the other wives, the family members, they can at most go up till our grave, not further. Who will go along with us to our next life and wherever we are? Krishna.
Yeah, it's nice. All the time remember Krishna in the waking up, sleeping. Only, yeah, when we are engaged in sense gratification, then we say, Krishna, please save me. Right? That we can say like that. Krishna, please.
Yeah.
Or when mind is thinking or which is not conducive for Krishna consciousness, Krishna, please help me. We can say like that also.
Yeah, please help me get rid of this anartha. I just want to think about you and serve you, but give me strength to overcome this anartha.
So there also you can remember like that. So when you are doing things that are not favorable, thinking of things that are not favorable to Krishna, Krishna, please help me. Krishna, please save me.
Because I know in my heart that this thing, this sense gratification, or my body ultimately will give me so much distress. I'm trying to enjoy through this body, but it will leave me one day and it will give me so much pain and distress. So I don't want to be attached to this body and this enjoyment through the body. So that conviction should be there, and then we should pray, even if you're not able to fully surrender to Krishna, but pray. I want to get rid of this.
I have a question.
Komal is asking.
Jai Shri Krishna. So we know from Garud Puran and other accounts that when Yamaduts come and there is pain and there is a count of 60,000 scorpions. I've heard variable numbers, but the pain of that you feel when the soul leaves the body. Do we have an account of what happens when the Vishnu Dutas come? Are those people also experiencing, who are going to higher planets, the same amount of pain? Because I have seen or I've heard accounts of people losing their bodies, and some are in pain and have been sick for a long time. The others, who depart in their sleep. So people even sleeping next to them don't even know that they are gone because there is no sound, there's no apparent visibility of any painful sensation. So do we know what happens on the other side if the Vishnu Dutas come instead of the Yam Dutas?
Like in Dhruva Maharaj's case, the Vishnu Dutas came. In the Bhagavatam, there is a. So they took him on the airplane, the Vaikuntha airplane, and he went back home uh, to the spiritual world. Ultimately, they go back to the spiritual world. So, to
So are
be.
we assuming there is no scorpion and all that pain in this
No,
case?
but if you see the accounts of pure devotees leaving their bodies, they had to go through difficulty. Many of them, even Prabhupada, for
Yeah.
many months he was on the bed, and The doctor was saying if I was in this condition, I would not be able to do anything. But they're able to tolerate that pain and still continue their service for Krishna. So many devotees have had cancer. Not that pure devotees don't have to go through bodily pain.
I mean, not just the months or years before passing, but actually the actual point of death. At that time, some people pass away silently, where others are in visible, discomfort. So I'm wondering if that scorpion thing is true even for the devotees or, the people of God.
I think that one another way Prabhupada explains is a cat is carrying a mouse and cat is carrying a kitten. I mean, so for the when somebody sees Yamadutas, then
They're very fearful.
yeah, they're very fearful. They say what is a terminal something hallucinations, or they see all these things. So that
Terminal
is also
restlessness.
Restlessness.
terminal restlessness. Yeah. So there was one account of one devotee like that. Her father was was a hunter and did all kinds of sinful activities, hunting animals and things. And he was actually going through this. So they can they can see. I mean, but we can't see. So in their subtle thing. So that is also there.
Yeah, I read that account and it's very, very descriptive. But it's almost something that makes you fearful. So it would be nice to have an account on the other side of the spectrum, but I didn't find any.
Oh, when somebody sees Vishnu Dutas, how they feel and what
Yeah,
is.
or what even happens at that time.
I think, yeah, they may
So,
be very peaceful. Yes, please.
so, so when actually Yamduta actually take out the soul from the body by force, right? But when Vishnuduta comes, the living entity leaves the soul by his own will, right? So that is, I think, each process, and then somebody snatching the soul out of the body is the process. So, like in the animal case, so what happened? The Yamduta was taking
Maybe
out the body, right? They
I'm
put in
getting
the
some
part.
echo. I don't know where it's coming from. Can we? Maybe everybody can mute, right? So yeah. Now.
So in Ajamil case, actually when Yamduta came, Yamduta put the rope around the neck of the soul, and then they were trying to snatch the body out of the Ajamil body, right? But in the end, when Ajamil actually perfected his life, that time Ajamil went to Ganga river, and then he left the body easily. He saw the Vishnuda has come, and he left the body by his own will. So I don't know. I mean, what leaving body by his own will is painful process, or somebody is taking out the body soul from the body. That's the painful, right?
Okay.
Oh, and sometimes we don't know what that person is experiencing within, right? A devotee may be passing and a non-devotee may be passing, and externally they both appear unconscious. But what is that internally that they're feeling, we don't know, we can't see. So like 40,000 scorpions biting for the non-devotee versus the devotee is feeling blissful because Krishna is coming. You don't
And
see
also,
that.
sorry, Madai. Just want to make one point. Also, actually, I contemplate on this thing that the pain may be because of the attachment to the body, right? The sinful soul doesn't want to leave the body, right? So that should be the cause of the pain. But the devotee already know that he perfect his life and he's going to better destination, then he doesn't have that much attachment to the body. Right?
Yeah. So I've also heard that those who have done a lot of sense gratification, they die of miserable death. More pain is experienced in that situation.
I mean, it's very interesting that in my case, I've always associated death with something very negative. But in case of my father, um, the whole experience has been very positive. I don't know, it's the vibe or what it is. Um, People having dreams of him that we personally didn't know of and telling us those dreams. Me, myself, witnessing the body. When I went back, in my head, when I was flying, I was thinking it's going to be all, it's something I don't want to see. But when I saw, it was very serene and calm, and I had a very, very positive feeling seeing the body. We did the rituals. It was my first very close account of an encounter like this. I had my cousins pass, but I wasn't this deeply involved. So this entire experience was very positive. Even till this date, if I remember the room, we prayed in that room. We slept after that in that room. It was funny that I started waking up a little early now before sunrise, which I was struggling with. But I realized that my father used to do that. He would wake up at 4:30 and start doing malas. He was not a very or I don't know, you don't know about the other person how elevated they are spiritually. He used to do his malas, but he was karmically extremely elevated person. Um, he did something extremely humanitarian even the day he passed, and it was very unexpected. He just left maybe in a matter of 10 minutes in his own bed and comfortably, and there was nothing that told us he was going except when he was gone. But it was a very, very positive experience. Going back home, looking at him, the last rites, and even till this date. And this has kind of taken away the fear of death that I always had in my head. Imagining when somebody passes and I start crying. That's not something that I have in my head anymore after seeing what happened with him or how it happened and how everything fell in place, even with the rituals. So this was a nice experience.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Okay. Sheetal Kumar wanted to say something. He's putting so many things in the chat. Okay. He says, we don't know what is happening in our body, what to speak of others. Krishna is Sarvagna. Sarvagna. Sarvagya. I think he means Sarvagya. He knows everything. We are Kritagna. We are grateful. The other is forceful. Devotee living body is voluntary exit. The other is forceful eviction. There are several evidence if we got vision or understanding. Shackle is shackle at the end of day, golden or iron. We are all got one of a kind. Okay. Didn't fully understand, but okay. So the next prayer we'll read. And also sometimes, if you know where you are going or if you have done Krishna consciousness, then you feel like, yeah, if you don't know where you are going, where the Yamadutas, where you are taking me, I don't know, where are you going to take me? These horrible living creatures are coming. So then we can be very fearful also. So there is another Badrinarayan Swami tells about, right? Who was that? That one man, Mr. Murthy, right? What was his name? He had some cerebral thrombosis or whatever it is called. He said, let me read this. If the Vishnu Dutas came and then they went back, if we have that. You have that thing where Badrinarayan Swami was describing about this man from South India.
Was it an article you were reading?
Yeah. he went into coma and then he came out of coma. And yeah, here it is. Badrinayan Prabhu. So he met some person in. Who was this? Murthy. Yeah. He says that as a faith builder in the Bhagavad view, there is Vishnu Loka, there are Vishnu Dutas. This is not our real home. To buy into that whole view, Mr. Prakash is a South Indian. This is a true story. He lives in San Diego. He's a nice man. His wife is aspiring to take initiation from Jayapatala Maharaj. He's more of a Smarta Brahmana. He's a nice man, and coming from South Indian Brahman family, he is reserved. He's not an emotional person. He had a cerebral thrombosis. Blood vessel blew in his brain. They rushed him to hospital. They almost lost him 4 times. Somehow or other he survived. So, major operation. He was in coma through the whole thing. His wife said, "Can you please come say something?" I had known the family for so many years, so I said, "I will come." He looked at me. He had that grey green ghostly color I have seen in my fair share of people about to go. And he really looked like, I thought, good luck. Means he's not going to survive the way he was looking. I did not say, don't. We chatted from Bhagavad Gita. I quoted some slokas. And he said, "You now, Prakash, just remember Krishna. He's in coma. Don't worry, just surrender to Krishna." So once a week I would stop by and see him. 5 to 6 weeks went by and his wife called me. "He's out of coma. He is recovered. They have taken the tube out, but he will not speak. He wants to see you." So I went to see him. He was lying on his bed, obviously drained from this whole experience. He sees me, sits up on his bed and says, everybody was there, relatives were there, the doctors were there. He sits up and he says, "Badri, 4 times they came." The doctor chimes in, "Yes, you almost lost it 4 times in the operating theatre." Mr. Prakash says, "No, 4 times they came." His dear relatives said, "Oh no, we came to see him. We thought he was in emergency care. They moved you to this room. 4 times it took us to find you." No, Prakash said, 4 times they came. So I thought, trying to be a devotee, I thought, maybe it must be the Vishnu Dutas. I said, "The Vishnu Dutas?" He said, No, the bad people, the bad people. I said, "Oh, you mean the Yamadutas?" He was nodding his head. Everybody looked up. The relatives, the doctors. "What do these two know at this point?" he said. 4 times they came. Every time they came, I told them, "Take me or leave me. I am depending on Krishna." They went away. Then again they came back. And again I told them, "Take me or leave me. I am depending on Krishna." 4th time they came. And I said, "Why are you bothering me? I have told you the same thing." Then the good people came. And when the bad people saw the good people, they said, "Oh, we cannot touch him now." And they went away. And Mr. Prakash came out of his coma. At that point, you could hear a pin drop in the room. Prakash reaches out, grabs me by my arms and said, "Before I did not believe," he said, "now 100%. There are so many stories like that. It is actually a fact. Now I could end there or tell one another joke. Because I said I would end after this. Okay. And the point of this joke is plan making. You cannot become happy in this material world. So Badrinarayan, he gave a class. So he knew this man. So he is telling, you can believe it or we cannot believe it, but it's okay.
I think the way I've understood, the Yamadutas are a default setting. And
No.
then when the Vishnu Dutas come, they go.
Okay.
Because they seem to be there in other accounts too. And then, when they see Vishnu Dutas, they leave.
Yes. So
Well, in the Bhagavatam, it says that anybody who chants the holy name, Yamadutas, they run away in fear. They can't. They don't want to come even in the dreams of a devotee. Right in the 6th canto, there is a verse.
Yeah.
I have one more question. Do dreams mean anything in our, in our religion? Do we take them seriously or we don't?
Well, dreams, they say, because dreams are something that are is embedded in our consciousness, in our subtle body, which has accompanied us from many lifetimes. Because when we die, then the mind goes along with the soul to the next cross body. So all the impressions and things, they come out sometimes in dreams, they surface in the dreams. So that's what Prabhupada said, like that. But we don't take the dream seriously. One time, one person came and then he said, "Oh, last night I dreamt about Krishna or this like that." Then Prabhupada said, "That's all right, but now you're awake. What are you going to do?" That's more important. So sometimes we say, "I dreamed about Krishna, this and that." It's good because that's like, okay, where your mind is. But but then now when you're awake, are you thinking of Krishna also? So that's
Sometimes the spirit souls, they communicate to us through dreams. I mean, even Prabhupada was saying Bhakti Siddhanta was coming in his dream and asking him to take sannyas after he had passed away. One of the devotees here, Akshay Krishna Prabhu, right? He told us that after his grandfather passed away, he came in the dream of a grandmother and said to her, "You don't know that there is one bank where I have deposited some money. I never told you. You know, you should go to that bank and get that money." Because the spirit soul was thinking, "Oh, what about that money at maybe at the time of death? No, I have not told anybody about that." So he's coming in the dream and telling them, "Okay, this is where some treasure is hidden, or this is where money is kept." And they were surprised because they went to that bank and they actually had that account there and nobody knew about it. So he was sharing, right?
yeah, he
So
was
this
sharing.
is an actual account of spirit soul wants to communicate, and I think they come through dreams and communicate their message.
Yeah,
It happens to
It's
the devotees
interesting.
also, right? Krishna come and says that where's my deity, and they do this and they found the deity like
yeah.
this.
Madhvendra Puri had the dream. Yeah. So I think for spiritual, very spiritually minded people, the dreams, Krishna communicates like in the dreams also. So,
So
but
it's funny. I think it was the third day, like the third night, my father passed away, and um, the people, sit outside. They grieve. So men were sitting outside. So one of the Muslim folks in our building, my Baba used to know the building folks and the area folks and the community folks at a big scale. So I don't know what his personal relationship with Baba was or how well he knew. But he said, I had a dream. That was the night that was Shabbe Barat. That is the most or one of the most auspicious nights for Muslims where they stay up all night and they pray, something like Shivratri. So he said, I had a dream. I want to tell you about it. So he told my brother. Now I don't know why is he dreaming about Baba because none of us were dreaming per se. My sister did have a dream where Baba was smiling and she was on the plane coming to Pakistan before we did the rites, and Baba was smiling and she was saying, "Baba, you are here." Then they said you are dead, and Baba was just smiling. So that was her account. But that back to that Muslim person, he said, I had a dream where your father is leaving the building and he's sitting on a, it's like where do the kings sit, whatever their chair is called, the
throne,
crown or whatever.
throne.
There, he's sitting there and he's being taken, and there is a kafila behind him. Kafila meaning, a lot of people who follow you, massive amount of people. So the people following him, and he's sitting on that, and you, the brother he was talking to you, you are the sitting next to him, and you are crying, but he is happy, and he's sitting on that chair, and he's being taken. And he said, I just wanted to mention that it was funny, because if one of us had dreamt it, I would have thought maybe we are cooking it up, because we are deeply thinking about him. But coming from an outsider, I wouldn't assume that he was that connected, or maybe he was, because there were some people who were massively crying, and we didn't really know why they were crying that much when Baba left. But he might have done something.
Yeah, very mystical things. Difficult.
But
On the
things
other
So you say that
I
the,
think there's.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Manji.
No, I was just saying that the spirit soul we say is around the body and the place for 13 days or something. So in the Hindu tradition,
Yeah.
Mm.
they recite Bhagavad Gita and do prayers till the 13th day because the soul is around because it's attached to the body and family and house. So you should do kirtan and other activities so the soul gets liberated. Otherwise, being attached, it will not go.
But that was the whole aura I was talking about. Is I was thinking when Baba was there, he did what he did. But even after he left, and as soon as he left, we deeply got into reading, because that's what our priest said. That this is the currency he's gonna take. So you have to collect currency for him for these 13 days, so that when the soul departs, he takes this currency on his journey.
Mhm.
And so we were just in the same room that we brought Baba in, and we did his last rites. Is where we started praying. So that the room turned into a prayer room. And I mean, I have, mashallah, a big family. I have nephews and nieces. And I just realized, and they mentioned that some of them may never have read Gita ever. Now, they pray in their own way, but they essentially may not have read Gita per se. And that was the first time during all these 13 days that even they came in, and everybody was into this deep prayer mode that I thought was so hard to turn into. But that's why maybe the aura and the positivity came, and we sort of stopped grieving, and we were just very focused and oriented into what we had to do. But that was part of how positive that experience was, because it was heavy amount of prayer. And as soon as 13 days ended and that heavy prayer ended, the grief kind of hit back. And that's when I realized that I can't stay idle, because if I do, it comes back to me. And when I pray, it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, many people they become serious, about the reality of life. Seeing a dead body, this is called Shamshan Vairagya. Some type of renunciation that comes on seeing. But for those people who have read Bhagavad, that's good. That's good. It was a good occasion. But how many will sustain reading it and maybe transform their life because they know that if this person died now, my turn will also come. But that doesn't happen because only for a few days. Sometimes these people have Shamshan Vairagya renunciation.
Yeah, I mean, it like seeing the dead body was actually a positive experience, like I said, for me. So it really didn't scare me or anything. But I think the fact that when he said it so clear and loud that this is the currency and he needs it is when I thought I really, really, really need to do what I could do, because that's for him. And
Yes.
he did so much for me. So this is one way maybe I could do something. And I think that was a mutual feeling. And we just sort of
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
after the money per se. So we were after the currency per se.
And it's not just 13 days, right? Anything that we do right now, 21 generations of ours is getting benefited. So if we continue, if we become a pure devotee, definitely they will get benefited wherever they are in whichever part of the world. Not just for those 13 days, right? So even while he was living or while he's gone,
Yeah.
we should continue to do devotion. It's benefiting us and our family members.
Oh, 100%. I think I was holding on to that thought that he needs to be benefited, but who knows? He's already benefited me by
Mhm.
what he did. But also, I think in general, I don't. I'm at a point now where I don't think I need to give him something, or I need to ask Krishna to give him something, because I think if I just focus on Krishna, then even
Mhm.
those desires are subsiding, and
Yeah,
I know I'm in a good place.
correct.
And if I'm in a good place, everybody is around me in a good place,
Mhm.
hopefully too, with the
Yeah,
same power of energy.
correct. And many, many lifetimes we have had so many mothers and fathers we don't remember. But yeah, just praying to Krishna, and Krishna will handle. He will make sure that everybody is benefited. I think Preeti was saying something.
No, it's something similar experience I was sharing. I was not physically present when my grandfather and grandmother were died, but they both died. There's 1 year of difference between their deaths. But I see the difference between the deaths. My grandfather was, people were. He is very noble person. I mean, I have never seen him to do such any kind of bad activity involvement and nothing like that. And he was a devotee of Lord Ramchandra. He was very much attached. He never used to go to the temple, but rest of things he used to do that. He is very disciplined. Actually, he was in military, so because of that also maybe he was very disciplined. At 8 o'clock, sharp 8 o'clock, he fell asleep. I mean, even you cannot put him awake, see him awake at 8:03. So, and at every day he wake up at 3. And from 3 to 6, he do his duties, like the spiritual duties, and we have cows, so he's serving cows and he was doing farming and these things they do. Every day he'd listen satsang. Every day in the morning he has like everything is a fixed schedule, but he never want to go to the temple. So, or maybe if he go to the temple, hardly he will stay like 2, 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and he just come back. Just my grandmother, she used to do like puja from morning to till noon, but they both have like I think their consciousness is different because my grandfather when he died in the whole lifetime I mean personally I have never seen him to have fever in his lifetime. And just before his death, a week before, he got like a partial heart attack and he had fever, something like that. He never used to go to the doctor or like this. And he said to all of us, not just me, like, he called me on the video call and my grandmother. And he said that I think it's time to go. It's time to go. Now we don't have to make trouble for our generation. He said to my grandmother. And my grandmother was so attached to her body. I think she is attached to not just her body, everyone. And my grandfather, I mean, if you see the whole life comparison, she was doing this puja, that puja, and all of things. But my grandfather, he was just doing these things simply. And but his death was very calm. He just left the body. It seems like that even the talk he was talking, it seems like that he is in detachment mode. He don't but he done all his duty towards his own son or daughter and for us. But he that time he was seems like very detached with everyone. He's not even talking, and if somebody's sharing the emotions, he just stop them that no, don't talk to me like this and these things. And he just kind of cut off. He just come out and he said these things. He was very silent before his death. He was not even eating, but he was not like sad. He was kind of happy. And he left the body and he said everybody that now this is time to go. And he had some kind of maybe dreams or something. And and my grandmother, she was like in so much anxiety. She was like, and I don't know what is the name. She died on the day of Ekadashi. Um, it's such an auspicious day. And she died on the same day, like, where I remember that in the 2020, we had a temple inauguration in Columbus, and the same day she died on 22nd of June. Um, and and she was like so much anxiety. She don't want to come. She was crying. She was screaming a lot. And I don't know, but my mother, she said the Lord's name. So after that, she was really calm. I mean, this is something miracle. You can say that she said that she was like completely reminding. She was calling everybody's name, my brother's name, my father's name, and then my mother says that, why are you calling the people? Why are you not calling Lord's name? Um, and she said something, or my mother was also saying, she started saying the Lord's name. I don't know what she said, like Radha or Ram. But as soon as she said that, she's like completely calm. And she don't leave the body that time, but she was in the body for like 30-40 minutes. But she was calm. She was like, she's not saying anything. She was screaming. Everything was stopped that time. I don't know what their destination is, but I see the difference of two deaths, and it seems like that I don't know. You cannot say that what is the internal consciousness. Maybe my grandfather's internal consciousness was elevated. It seems externally not very much into all these karma kanda or in this worship, but. Whatever he was doing, he was very, the thing I have noticed in my grandfather, he was very much respectful for the sannyasis. Like wherever he got sannyasis, like he just bowed down and try to serve him. The only thing, I have noticed in him that is doing thing. He has not much interest to worshiping deity, even at home and going to the temple. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of, how can you perceive these things? But I see that, this is the spiritual thing. Devotion is basically your change your internal consciousness. If you're internally connected, then whatever happens to the body, I mean, devotee understand that this body has to go. So they are just focusing on the soul thing and Krishna and whoever worship Lord Ram or Krishna or anyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for sharing. We'll read one more verse since we read only one verse. So we'll read one more verse. स्त्रियो व्रतैस्त्वा ऋषिकेश्वरं स्वतो याराध्य लोके पतिम् आशते आशासते अन्यम् तासं नितत् तासं न ते वै परिपन्त्य पत्यम् प्रियं दयायुंषि यतो स्वातन्त्रः. So Lakshmi Devi is praying further. My dear Lord, you are certainly the fully independent master of all the senses. Therefore, all women who worship you by strictly observing vows, because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses, are surely under illusion. So, those who worship you to get a husband are under illusion. That's what Lakshmi Devi. Therefore, all women who worship you by strictly observing vows because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses are surely under illusion. They do not know that such a husband cannot actually give protection to them or their children, nor can he protect their wealth or duration of life. For he himself is dependent on time, fruitive results, and the modes of nature which are all subordinate to you.
Rukmini Devi also says like that something that I want you only as my husband. I don't want any other husband or any other person as my husband who is like what did she say? Who has a mustache and a beard and who's a bag full of blood, mucus, and stool like that. I want you as my husband. So Rukmini Devi also is saying, Lakshmi Devi is saying like that. Okay, so because such a husband cannot give any protection because he himself is under the modes of nature and on everybody, not husband, wife, anybody, everybody is under the influence of karma and the modes of nature. So he cannot really give protection. That reminds me of that Bhagavatam verse, right, which says that Adeha Patya Kalatrideshu As Atma Saineshvya Satsvapi Desham Pramato Nidanam Pashyanapi na Pashyati. He sees that nobody can protect anybody, uh, all these relatives, anybody. But he thinks that these are my soldiers, my fallible soldiers, beginning with my body and everything connected to the body, Deha Patya Kalatra Dishu, my children, my wife, Kalatra. Atma, they are my Sena, they are my Atma Seneshwa. Although they themselves are subject to destruction and they cannot, they need themselves protection. So how can they protect me? Something like that. Balasya Neha Sharanam Pitro Narshi. So only Krishna can protect. In this verse, Lakshmi Devi, Rama, shows compassion towards women who worship the Lord for the benediction of possessing a good husband. Although such women desire to be happy with children, wealth, a long duration of life, and everything dear to them, they cannot possibly do so. Generally, they worship Lord Shiva also to have a good husband and then have nice children and all this long duration of life. In the material world, a so called husband is dependent on the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many examples of a woman whose husband, being dependent on the results of his own fruitive action, cannot maintain his wife, her children, her wealth, or her duration of life. Sometimes it becomes very bad. They just shoot themselves, right? Sometimes they are in extreme poverty. They cannot, so they shoot themselves and they'll shoot their family. There's some instances I've heard about like that. So therefore, because in Kali Yuga to maintain a family is a very very challenging task. Of course, maybe some people who have good karma and like that, they have nice jobs and earning a lot of money. But generally, it's very difficult to maintain a family in Kali Yuga because money is very hard to come by. And therefore, factually, the only real husband of all women is Krishna, the supreme husband. And for women or men, both. Because we are all Prakriti. Because the gopis were liberated souls, they understood this fact. Gopis understood. Therefore, they rejected their material husbands and accepted Krishna as their real husband. Krishna is his real husband of not only of the gopis, but of every living entity. Everyone should perfectly understand that Krishna is the real husband of all living entities who are described in Bhagavad Gita as Prakriti, not Purusha, male. In Bhagavad Gita 10.12, only Krishna is addressed as Purusha, Param Dham, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Sashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhu. You are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth, and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all pervading beauty. Krishna is the original Purusha, and the living entities are Prakriti. Thus, Krishna is the enjoyer, and all living entities are meant to be enjoyed by him. So, when one jiva tries to enjoy another jiva, then that's the problem starts. But if everybody offers themselves to be enjoyed by Krishna, then there'll be peace and harmony. But when one jiva wants to enjoy another jiva, and everybody wants to enjoy, then uh, there'll be conflicts. So, like Prabhupada gave the example of pebbles. The pebble, if you throw pebbles in different places in a pond, then their centers are all different, and they will generate waves and they will collide with one another. So this is the reason for so much commotion and so much chaos in the world today, because they are not accepting that Krishna is the enjoyer and we are meant to serve. We are meant to be enjoyed by him. Like, that's why everybody wants to be the independent enjoyer, and that's why all the problems are there nationally, in the family. Therefore, any woman who seeks a material husband for her protection, or any man who desires to become the husband of a woman, is under illusion. To become a husband means to maintain a wife and children nicely by supplying wealth and security. However, a material husband cannot possibly do this, for he is dependent on his karma. Karmana deva netrena. His circumstances are determined by his past fruitive activities. Therefore, if one proudly thinks that he can protect his wife, he is under illusion. Krishna is the only husband, and therefore the relationship between a husband and wife in this material world cannot be absolute. Because we have the desire to marry, Krishna mercifully allows the so-called husband to possess a wife, and the wife to possess a so-called husband for mutual satisfaction. So we have desire, so Krishna is fulfilling that desire so that we can have. But actually, Krishna is saying, you take only shelter of me, don't depend on all these people for protection. That's the purport theme. In the Ishopanishad, it is said, Tena tyaktena bhunjita. The Lord provides everyone with his quota. Actually, however, every living entity is Prakriti or female, and Krishna is the only husband. Ekala Ishvara Krishna arasa bhritya. Yare yaiche nachaye. Sei taiche kare nritya. Yare yaiche nachaya. Sei taiche kare nritya. Krishna is the original master or husband of everyone and all other living entities, having taken the form of so-called husbands or wives, are dancing according to his desire. And it is a drama. It is a drama which is going on where we are saying, oh, this is my father, this is my... And then the drama gets over. Like in Chitraketu Maharaj's pastime, that son came back alive and says, oh, says, look, your father is lamenting, The son says, oh, in which lifetime they were my mother and father? I've been through so many species of life. I've been in the vegetable species, I've been in the animal species. So I've had so many mothers and fathers, and I have so many relatives. So who is my father and mother really? So like that, in that story we have. So Krishna is the original master or husband of everyone, and all other living entities have taken the form of so-called husbands or wives or brothers, sisters, and are dancing according to his desire. So it's like a dream. This is all like a dream. And the dream gets over, then next day you have another dream, right? Every day you don't have the same dream. Maybe one day you have one dream, next day you have another dream, third day you have another dream. So every life is like a dream, 60, 70-year-old dream in which we think, oh, this is my family, this is my country, this is who I am. I'm male, I'm female. And then that dream gets over, and then you get another body, and in that body you identify yourself with another nationality, another set of relatives, and like that it's going on. So a so-called husband. So a real person who always comes with us is Krishna. So as Paramatma in the heart, we don't feel like Krishna is with us in our heart. But every lifetime, wherever we go, in whichever species, Krishna is there with us in the heart, because he himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, so we believe his words. Everybody else will change in our life. It is only for a certain period of time. Like we had so many friends in school. At that time, we thought we were so close and so fast friends. But now we may not have touch with them. or we may have, some of you may have, but yeah, their life is different. Our life, they got married, they have their thing, their whatever profession we have, and some of our friends have already died also. So in this world, it is like that. It's a whole temporary situation. So this is Gyan, and by Atma Gyan, to understand who we are and who everybody else is. And this will bring about detachment. And detachment will bring about focus on Krishna. Attachment to this material world will bring us back in this material world. But detachment from this material world will take us out of this material world, back to the spiritual world. So, as life goes on, we are supposed to become detached, because now we are moving closer to death. As Preeti was saying, her grandfather became detached towards the. That's how actually at some point we are saying, okay, now everything is all temporary, it's all, nothing is going to go with me. Let me focus on Krishna, devotional activities. Because we cannot be detached immediately, so the Shastras allow us to become attached. Okay, as Prabhupada says, Krishna is giving the facility to possess a husband, to possess a wife, to have children, like that. Because we cannot immediately give up that desire, so that Krishna is giving us the facility to fulfill our desires, so that after fulfillment of desires we may become slowly detached. That's the Varnashram. But the goal is to become detached. That's why the 3 ashramas in the Varnashram are meant for detachment. Brahmachari, Vanaprastha and Sannyas, they are meant for detachment. Only Grihastha, regulated attachment, like that. So 75% of the time, so Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam, Shikshartham Eka Purusha Purana, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, Kripam Buddhiryastam Prapadye. Wherever, what is that? Vairagya Rapradhan. What is
महाप्रभु भक्त गहेरा वैराग्य प्रधान जहाँ देखी प्रीत हो श्री गौरा भगवान.
So Mahaprabhu, when he saw the renunciation of Raghunath Das Goswami, he was very pleased. Oh, very nice, very nice. He's not eating this, he's not eating that. Very nice, very nice. So of course, we don't have to do any extreme thing like that, Raghunath Das Goswami. But the thing is that we have to become detached from the bodily conception of life and do our duty as a matter of duty. We do it, and we help others to become Krishna conscious in a family and other things. Otherwise, this material tabernacle, as Prabhupada coins the word tabernacle, is going to go on infinitely. It has gone on so many lifetimes. We've been through this cycle of birth and death, and it's going to go on forever. So at one point we say, I'm done. Like we say, our hands, we just like say, I'm done, I'm finished with all this. So when that thing happens, then we surrender to Krishna. Okay, I'm done with all this business. I've done this, been there, done that. So I'm done with all this. Now I will just take shelter of Krishna, give this life to Krishna. So that's how we are supposed to come. Of course, speaking is easy, but actually coming to that. So that's how we should be. Yeah.
I was talking with somebody yesterday about this, being detached, and Krishna says, only think about me. Ananyas chintayanto mam manmana bhav madbhakto. Then how can, being in a relationship, we become detached, and what would the other person think? Or, you're not caring about me. It's not. So he said that we should be externally show attachment, but internally we should be detached, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatan Rupa Goswami that be like that woman who is doing her household affairs very nicely, but in her mind she's thinking of her paramour, of her beloved. Right? Actually, our beloved is Krishna. So internally we are detached, but externally, just for the progress of the family and we do our duties and we show affection for our family members and we show attachment, but it's a show.
No,
Internally,
but
we
also you can think of them as spirit souls. They are dear to Krishna. This child of mine,
correct,
this child of
correct.
mine is, yeah,
Yes.
is very
Like
dear to me.
one devotee was telling me that when you cook something, if you have to cook, don't think that, oh, you have to cook for that person, right? Think you are cooking for Krishna
Hmm.
and you're then distributing prasad. As soon as you change that consciousness that I am doing this for Krishna,
Hmm.
then you don't feel burdened by that responsibility.
Hmm. Correct. And this person
On a
is
side
also,
note,
yeah, go ahead.
it also makes the food automatically good in taste.
Correct. It becomes real because you're making that with the consciousness that this is for Krishna. Yeah.
So, yeah, so we can treat everybody, and then in a very advanced state of consciousness, we see not only those who are related to us in the body, bodily connection, but everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Vasudhaiva Kutumbikam. Everybody is in Krishna's family. Not only those who are my every spirit, every person is a spirit soul and dear to Krishna. So then we see it in when we expand our consciousness more, right? Then we are kind to
Yeah.
everybody.
But when you have a family, like you spend extra time with your family members or you would sacrifice for them, you would not sacrifice for an outside person, right? But for somebody who's a sannyas consciousness where he has the whole world is my family, then it becomes easy. But then when you have your own family, you have your children and you will think about your responsibilities first towards your family members, right? Versus helping the other person outside somewhere and sacrificing for them becomes difficult.
Yeah, that's why in Varnashram at some point you give up your own little family to embrace the world as a family, right? That's how they do. We may not be in that kind of consciousness, but they, like so many people, they took sannyas, so they see the whole world as the family. Of course, then your family is also part of it, also, so you can take care. But yeah, this sometimes it is said that this family relationships based on the bodily platform is the greatest cause of material entanglement. So at some point you say, okay, no, I will give it up. But that's only for very exalted, those who can do it. So they, like Preeti was saying, right? His grandfather used to bow down to sannyasis, very much respect. So we should respect the sannyasis. They have given up. They have renounced, all their connections and like that. So on the top of the Varnashram is the sannyas. So whenever we see sannyasi, we should bow down. Then their saint person dedicated their life. Of course, any devotee is like devotee is devotee, doesn't belong to any ashram, but still externally they cannot meet their family, right? They cannot, if they were married, they cannot meet their wife again. And like although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met his mother, but he never saw his wife again. And same with I think Srila Prabhupada also. And he gave up. He sacrificed his life. He had children, and I think they were dependent on him, and he gave it up. And, but they are very exceptional souls like that. So anyhow, that's something I was thinking also. So yeah, and everybody is Krishna's child. So, but then we have our own children, so we'll take care of our children. We have to take care of our children. So that is there, and naturally, there is some affection for family members because you are doing things together, and when there is give and take, then naturally attachment develops. So that is how also you are helping, and that other person is helping. So that's why they say sannyasis should be very careful to accept service from the opposite gender because it can create attachments, because attachment develops through service. So when service happens, the mutual service happens, then that's when their attachment develops. But attachment can be based on spiritual, it can be on spiritual platform also. So okay, there was one lecture by Jayadvaita Maharaj, he was saying all these things. So Krishna is the original master or husband of everyone, and all other living entities, having taken the form of so-called husbands or wives, are dancing according to his desire. A so-called husband may unite with his wife for sense gratification, but his senses are conducted by Rishikesh, the master of the senses, who is therefore the actual husband. Okay. Anything else anybody like to say? So it's almost 9 o'clock. We can hear something. It's too.
Also, the husband taking care of the wife. Krishna only has sent that husband, right, to take care of the other jiva. That way also Krishna has arranged. Not that we neglect, okay, nobody is there but Krishna. So family members are arranged by Krishna to show his love to us through them.
Yeah, I mean, somebody has to. We are all dependent on other people, right? So Krishna only arranges whether you are a sannyasi or a grihastha, right? Sannyasis also, I mean, the sannyasis who travel, right? They are living at some place and somebody is cooking their food, and but the only difference is that they are like they do madhukari and they go from house to house and take a little bit so that they don't become attached to a particular place. That's the only. But that also Krishna is only providing. That householder is going to provide some rice or something. Who is providing that? But Krishna is providing, and he goes from every house little bit, little bit, little bit. So it doesn't get attached.
So the point being is like, us showing affection to our family members, we should not forget Krishna in the midst, because he's the center. He should be in the center of all the relationships. Like we say, the wife thinks, oh, this husband has given me this gift, a nose ring or a earring, but who has given you the nose? Who has given you the hand on which you're putting bangles? I mean, the gifts that Krishna is giving, we are not seeing that. So, in the midst of showing affection to our family members, we should not forget Krishna. Always be grateful. Ultimately, it is Krishna who has given me these children or husband or this house. And all gifts are coming from Krishna.
Yeah, the nose ring also, the metal in the ring, right? The ring also, whatever there is,
That
that
person,
also
how
came
did he
from
get the
Krishna.
money? I mean, how did he get the capability to even earn money to get that gift?
That also, and even if you have money, but if there was no metal, right, then how would there be a ring? Like we may have paper money, but if Earth is not producing any food, right, then you can have a lot of paper money. But if the Earth is not producing any food, then Kroger or anywhere where you go buy grocery, what will you do with your paper money? You cannot. So that Earth is producing food and all these things. All sunlight is there. That is ultimately by Krishna's arrangement. So
Yeah, ultimately the oxygen is there because everybody needs oxygen to survive. And oxygen, you get it freely. We have seen in the COVID what kind of situation was. Like people are like spending lakhs and lakhs of money just to get one cylinder of oxygen. And I mean, this kind of seeing this all like very troublesome.
it is
But yeah, I
Dukhamay.
mean, but we don't grateful that we are getting all these things freely.
Yeah,
So
yesterday we were hearing a lecture by Bhakti Rasamrita Swami. He was saying that Prabhupada is the physician and he is analyzing what disease we have. So sometimes when you go to a doctor, they cannot figure out what is wrong. You go from one, they will say, do this test, do that test, this test. It happened to one devotee here. They were not able to figure out what's wrong. And they were doing all kinds. But Prabhupada has given us the actual problem we have. The actual problem is that we have turned away from Krishna, and because of that, we are in ignorance. And because we are in ignorance, we commit sinful activities, and then we get this material body, and then we suffer. So we have the root cause of the problem. Prabhupada has analyzed is we have turned away from Krishna, and then he's giving. Sometimes he was saying that some devotees say, yeah, some doctors say, yeah, we know your problem, but we don't have a cure for it. That's also. Oh, you have this cancer, but there is nothing we can do to cure it, or this disease, autoimmune disease, whatever, but we don't have a cure for it. So Prabhupada actually not only knows the disease, he has a cure for it, and he's giving the cure like that. But then he says, well, he gives you the cure, but you are not taking the medicine. So you have to take according to the direction of the physician, right? If some medicine is, you go to a doctor, and doctor analyzes your disease and he gives you the medicine, but you are not taking the medicine. So according to the direction of the doctor, then also the thing will not work. And then he said in ISKCON, we have, it's like a hospital. So you have all different kinds of patients. So we should not come to the hospital and say, oh, this person has this disease, this person has this disease. How? This is not pure. Yes, only the doctor is free from the disease. Others all are suffering from disease. And there are varying levels of disease in the hospital. So sometimes people come to ISKCON and they meet some devotee, and if that devotee doesn't, like behave properly or is not very good, then they think, oh, ISKCON is bad. No, but you have to see that ISKCON is like a hospital, and we should not think that everybody is perfect here. We all have our disease, and we are all getting treated in this hospital. So, okay, so the more we take the prescription of the Vaidya properly, the more we'll get cured. And like that, if you don't take the prescription that is given, then the disease will remain as is. So the prescription is to chant Hare Krishna, follow the four regulative principles. Of course, chanting Hare Krishna will help us follow the four, and then associate with devotees and all these things. That's the way. Yeah.
We say that patients are given a diet plan and medicine. So diet is also there.
Yeah.
Eating Krishna Prasad.
Okay, so we'll stop here.